This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
What's up, guys? Watch Mojo, VinylicPuma here. Today, I'm going to be doing a bit of a different Borderlands 2 countdown video for you guys. Today, I wanted to go over some of the mysterious and unexplained things in Borderlands 2, and I also wanted to do a bit of an experiment. If you didn't notice or realize all 9 things I'm going to be pointing out in this particular video, you should leave a like. However, if you already did realize or notice everything I'm about to go over here, feel free to go ahead and leave a dislike on this video. Without further ado, these will be the top 9 wonders and mysteries of Borderlands 2 in no particular order. Number 9, the Norfleet. So why is the Norfleet's red text almost this orange color? And have you also noticed that some of the Captain Scarlet DLC weapons are a significantly darker red when compared to other weapons from the vanilla game? And we're talking about the red text here. Now, maybe the Captain Scarlet DLC weapons aren't as weird because the red needs to be darker to better contrast with like that cyan curse text on some of the cursed unique weapons. But we have no idea why the Norfleet's red text is an orange color. Number 8, the Lyuda/White Death. So why is the bottom of the Lyuda sniper rifle's magazine black? It almost looks like the Lyuda was partially submerged into like this can of crude oil or something. And I just noticed this yesterday, and I'm curious as to whether you guys have an explanation about why the Lyuda sniper rifle's magazine, or at least the bottom part of it, is black. This seems kind of like an oversight thing from the developers, or maybe they just like patched it in recently. I don't know. Like I said, I just noticed this like yesterday. So maybe it's always been like that, but I'm now noticing it now. Number 7, what the heck is Zero? Now, of course, we're talking about Zero the Assassin, the Vault Hunter from Borderlands 2. It's one of the playable characters. And you know, seriously, what kind of being or humanoid race is Zero? He's clearly not a Homo sapien like many of the other Vault Hunters, as he is freakishly thin and, more importantly, only has 4 digits on each hand. He has 3 fingers on each hand with 2 thumbs on like either hand. So he's got a total of 8 fingers. At the same time, do aliens speak haiku? The whole thing just seems kind of strange to me. Number 6, giant dragon/dinosaur bones. So you'll notice throughout Borderlands 2 that in places like Tundra Express, Three Horns Divide, Arid Nexus Boneyard, and in Candlerack's Crag, you're going to find these like massive like dinosaur or like dragon bones. I'm not really sure what they are. Now, it's possible that at one point that Pandora was populated with a bunch of these large dragon or dinosaur-like monsters. However, their extinction seems like it would have had to have been relatively recent within, I guess, like the lore of the universe, as bones can decompose quite quickly. But at the same time, bones can also take thousands of years to decompose, provided that the area is dry enough. And considering that some of the places I mentioned are essentially deserts, I mean, it is pretty dry, so they could be over 1,000 years old. Number 5, gun and weapon ads. So if you take some time to observe some of the weapon ads, you'll notice that there are a lot of weapons that didn't make it into the game. At Three Horns Valley, at I believe like that pig rest stop or whatever, you can check out a Dahl assault rifle and a Vladov assault rifle. Now, the Dahl assault rifle is apparently called the Accu rifle, and the Vladov assault rifle looks like are spinning gun assault rifles. However, instead of having a magazine, you have a bullet belt on the weapon's barrel. And really, if you think about it, I think that makes a little more sense in terms of like how a gun would work. Really, I don't see how you would get the bullets to like go from the magazine up and through the gun and then down into the barrel. That just seems kind of retarded in my opinion. Now, obviously, I guess a lot of these weapons were cut, but it would be interesting to use like that Dahl Accu rifle as opposed to like the Dahl carbines that we ultimately got. Number 4, no lasers in Borderlands 2. So in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, the Vault Hunters have access to laser weapons as well as cryo weapons. Not just by Dahl, Tediore, Hyperion, and Maliwan, but you also have some pistols and assault rifles that fire like these laser or cryo projectiles. Now, while the explanation for cryo element is somewhat explained or like alluded to, there isn't really an explanation for why there aren't any lasers by the time of the events in Borderlands 2. Maybe we'll find out the reason for this in Borderlands 3, but I've got a feeling by that point there are going to be lasers in Borderlands 3. Number 3. Did the events of Tiny Tina's Dragon Keep DLC actually happen? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is in reference to a possible choice Fiona can make in Tales from the Borderlands. Now, if you are looking to avoid some spoilers, you should probably plug your ears really quick. I'll give you a couple seconds here. If you haven't, I'm going to go ahead. So in episode 4 of Tales from the Borderlands, Fiona is presented with a choice to either shoot Butt Stallion or to like deface this like statue or I guess like mosaic of Handsome Jack. And if you decide to shoot Butt Stallion, you'll actually realize that Butt Stallion actually starts to bleed. The first time we actually see Butt Stallion is in the Tiny Tina DLC. However, she is mentioned during conversations with Handsome Jack during the first hour of Borderlands 2's story. At the same time, you can have like a gun like the Ogre, which is exclusive to the Dragon Keep DLC, in like the main events of the Borderlands story, or you can at least use the gun. So, I mean, did the events of Tiny Tina actually happen? I don't know. Number 2, the Arid Nexus, both the Boneyard and the Badlands. Now, if you observe the fast travel map for Borderlands 2, you'll notice that in the lower left corner are the fast travel locations for both Boneyard and Badlands, which are part of the Arid Nexus area, and they're on this like separate island. Now, if you compare the location of Iridium Blight and Sawtooth Cauldron, the map appears to be consistent. However, if you compare the Iridium Blight with the Boneyard or Badlands locations, it appears to be completely inconsistent. In fact, if you look at the map, basically it's like the northwest part of the map that you're going to see the Iridium Blight, or it's kind of in that area. And then, of course, in the southwest part of the map, you're going to ultimately see the Arid Nexus area. This is kind of a strange error on the parts of the developers over at Gearbox, because if you look at the rest of the locations in Borderlands 2 and its DLC, every other area's location seems to match with some of the others. A great example is how the Mercenary DLC, which was one of the Headhunter packs, is consistent with its location, like relative to the dust. Number 1. What happened to Atlas? It's only been about 5 years or so since the original Borderlands 1, so where are all of the Atlas guns and weapons? Now, there has to be some Atlas guns still on Pandora, as evidenced by Reese and Fiona and company managing to find like this Atlas underground bunker, and they also find an Atlas SMG after the main story events of Borderlands 2 and possibly its DLC. After all, Handsome Jack's hologram is alive, however, Handsome Jack, the human, is dead. Now, it's weird, why did Atlas not even appear in Borderlands 2? Did Jack suppress Atlas weapons somehow? It seems unlikely because some random bandit could just have, like, an Atlas weapon. Or maybe the Crimson Raiders would have some of their old Atlas weapons when they were originally part of the Crimson Lance. And you know, furthermore, what happened to SNS munitions? Anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.